Hey guys, Adam Lavelle coming back with you to talk about Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. This was the first company I was introduced to when it came to bare knuckle fighting. It's the company that addicted me. It's the company that sucked me in and kept me going. Since then, I have found numerous other companies, including bare knuckle boxing and others across the globe, places in Ukraine, places in Russia, places in Poland, a lot of bare knuckle fighting. But Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is the very first company that said, hey, this is the stuff that's going to get you out of silly professional wrestling and make you fall in love with legitimate badassery. I'm here to talk about the press conference that just happened yesterday. That was July 10th, 2024, Thursday, July 10th. It is almost Saturday, July 12th, as I record this, which is going to bring us the next big bare knuckle fighting championship show coming up. I mean, it's going to be great tomorrow night, Saturday night. I think the prelims start at 7. It's something you don't want to miss. But let's talk about this amazing press conference. That's what I want to talk about here. I wanted to cover it earlier than this, but I watched it a second time so I could really let all those announcements and all those fighter introductions sink in, and I could take some solid notes about it, and we could go over it here so you too hopefully can become addicted to, or at least very much a big fan of, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. This show kicked off with David Feldman, the owner, the person who founded this company, got this ball rolling, fulfilled this dream for us. He welcomes everyone, and he asks his co-owner, I guess you might say, I don't know how big of the piece of a pie Conor McGregor, the great Conor McGregor, has a bare knuckle fighting championship, but what a showman he is, man. If I could model myself after him in regard to how to talk and how to get a crowd going and how to keep a crowd going, that's someone you can look up to for sure. No matter what your opinion of him is, he is a showman personified. We're talking about a guy who would draw crowds to his weigh-ins, massive crowds, arena full of people to watch him weigh in. You can't say that isn't damn impressive. He comes up and he tells us that former UFC fighter Thiago Santos is the first new signee making his way into bare knuckle fighting championship. Thiago, very good in UFC for a long period of time. He left there over some type of pay dispute back in the day. I don't want to get into what does and how much does UFC pay their fighters. Doesn't matter to me. I don't watch UFC. I watch bare knuckle fighting. But Thiago Santos, welcome, my brother. Welcome to bare knuckle fighting. Can't wait to see what you can do. And no offense to Thiago Santos when I say this next signee is bigger and badder and more of a shock, really, whenever Conor McGregor got on that mic and continued to tell us that another fighter was coming, and that was Yoel Romero. Holy hell. Now, I know some people are going to say Romero's up in age. He's in his 40s. I don't care. The man is still a beast. Did you see him? I mean, he's just built like a small Incredible Hulk, a shorter Incredible Hulk. The guy is incredible. I mean, how many more times can I say incredible, I guess? No, he's great. Yoel Romero is a beast. I mean, guys were afraid to fight this guy with gloves on. Can you imagine having to face Yoel Romero in a bare knuckle fight? Now, yeah, I know he was kind of more of a wrestler than a striker, but the guy can strike, will strike, and I know I wouldn't want to go up against him in a sparring match, let alone a bare knuckle fight. God. Then we got back to Feldman telling us he's going to announce some more shows out there across the sea, out there around the world, and that's always good stuff. Sure, we'd all like our favorite fighters to be in our backyard all the time. Of course we would. But no, we got to get around the world, man. We got to showcase what this company, what bare knuckle fighting is all about. And he says on September 27th, they're going to be in Manchester, UK. They're going to have the debut of a United Kingdom fighter, a former boxer, a former boxing champion. I can't remember which one of the boxing titles he held, but it was one of them. We're talking about James DeGaulle. He's going to come in. I don't know much about him. I did look him up. Like I said, he's a former boxing champion, legitimate champion. So anytime a boxing champion throws those gloves off and goes bare knuckle, that's big, huge news. And again, he will debut in his home country, Manchester, United Kingdom, on September 27th. Also, October 25th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is going to be in Rome, Italy, where some of the greatest fights, some of the greatest gladiators, some of the greatest shows of all time ever went on. Life and death shows throughout history of the Roman Empire. Here comes Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in there to show the people of Rome, Italy, are gladiators, are warriors, and I'm sure it's going to be an amazing time. Then we had an announcement of a 135-pound four-man tournament. Now, Feldman said he's not going to announce all the members who are going to be, all the fighters that are going to be part of this group yet, because two of those fighters are fighting tomorrow. As you watch this, it's probably today. I'm going to put this on my Twitter. I'm going to put it on my Facebook. I'm going to put it on my YouTube. I'm going to put it on my YouTube debut tomorrow, Saturday afternoon. So some of you aren't going to see this until then. But those of you who see this tonight, Friday night, two of the people that are going to be in this four-man tournament are fighting tomorrow on Saturday, and the winner of those fights will advance into this tournament. So we don't know who everybody is competing yet, but it's going to be special. Also, there's a 155-pound tournament as well. Austin Trout versus Luis Palomino and Ben Bonner versus Franco Tenaglia will determine who advance into this tournament. I mean, Trout and Palomino should be very exciting fight. Can't wait to see that. And Bonner, who shocked the world on like a week's notice, came in there and won that championship, and against a substitute opponent for Franco Tenaglia, who did something to upset Feldman and the bosses of Bare Knuckle, but they didn't kick him out. They didn't get rid of him. He's coming back for a shot at that title that he was denied just a month or so ago. So can't wait to see that. And that will decide the 155-pound tournament people, the fighters that advance into that. Little confusing, I know. 135, 155, who's all in it? Just pay attention, brother. This is going to be two great tournaments for two major championships with big names coming in and trying to decide who is the baddest, who is the best in those weight divisions. They also announced, Bare Knuckle Fighting, David Feldman announced that they have acquired the majority shares. They have acquired a company called Lethway, I believe that's how you pronounce it. This is, again, I watched a few matches of this, a few bouts, a few fights of this Lethway. It is wild. It is bare knuckle fighting. But, man, the rules, you can throw elbows, you can throw headbutts. This is wild. It's just striking, and there's no kicking in it, I don't believe. But there could be. I only watched like two bouts. I enjoyed it, but I can't wait to see what bare knuckle fighting does with it. I think you give an American audience something even crazier than bare knuckle fighting, which that's what this is. I'm not saying it's better. What I saw in Lethway was not better than bare knuckle fighting. Not what I saw. Now, they were great athletes, and I certainly wouldn't want to do it. But I think with Feldman and McGregor and some of the others behind the scenes in bare knuckle fighting, they can take this Lethway, bring it, tweak it a little bit for an American audience, and it is going to be another showstopper. If we get it on the network, if we get it on DAZN, if we get it wherever they put it, I think it's going to be worth the money. I can't wait to see what they do with this company. That's a big announcement. They acquired, it's big over in the countries where they fight this way, this Lethway style, this Lethway company, and I think it can be big here if you just let the bare knuckle fighting championship guys put a little bit of spin on it, if you will, right? And then there's going to be a major announcement tomorrow during the show. So can't wait to see what that is. They're hyping it as a big deal. They didn't want to give it away in this press conference. They want to make us want to watch the show in order to see what this major announcement is. Talking about major announcement, this might have been the biggest announcement on the show. I really probably would. Other than Yoel Romero coming in as a bare knuckle fighter, they announced a major tournament that's going to last 12 months. It's mostly open weight, and that is how Conor McGregor described it. Mostly open weight tournament. They're going to start with the heavyweights, but you'll see a picture up here beside me going by. You can look at this massive tournament bracket that it's going to have open weight fighters of all the weight divisions, from my understanding, but starting with the heavyweights. I don't know exactly how it's working. I just know it's going to determine the baddest man on the planet. It's a $25 million prize. Now, that's all the prizes put together, so let's take a quick look at this. The winner of this tournament will receive $15 million. $15 million. That tells me, I think this major announcement from tomorrow, this is just a prediction, might be some other major sponsor, major backer, major buy into the company. Somebody's got some money here. $15 million winner. The second place fighter will receive $1 million. That's a big drop, but still a nice prize, but $14 million less. Third and fourth place fighters will receive $500,000. 5th through 8th place fighters will receive $300,000. 9th through 16th fighters, $200,000. 17th through 32nd place fighters, $100,000. And the alternates will get $50,000. Alternates sit by in case somebody's injured or can't go or can't make it or have visa problems or what have you. And they'll be ready to step up and fill the void, fill the person. Hopefully that doesn't happen much, but if it does, there will be alternates. And if you're an alternate in this, you get $50,000. Even if you're an alternate that never has to fight, say you never have to alternate in for somebody else because everybody makes it. And with this kind of prize money, I think everybody's going to do their damnedest to make it. You're sitting around waiting to be an alternate, you're getting $50,000. That's pretty impressive. We had the King of Violence, Platinum Mike Perry, and boy, this guy tried to steal the show. Did he? I don't know. I like him, and I respect the hell out of him as a fighter. He's entertaining. He's entertaining on the mic. He's entertaining in the squared circle. But, man, he really tried to steal this press conference. This guy was fighting and arguing with everybody from Conor McGregor down. He challenged Conor McGregor. Why don't you fight me, McGregor? You haven't been in the fight ring in a long time. Why don't you step in there against me? And McGregor said, you're going to dance for me, boy. You know, you're going to dance for the owner. And if you can win your next fight, then maybe I'll see if you're worthy. Conor McGregor, don't ever challenge him on the mic. But Platinum Mike Perry returns on October 11th. They didn't say whose opponent was. He did get into it a lot with several guys here, which we'll talk about in a minute. I don't know if any one of them are going to be his first opponent, though. I kind of doubt it. And then Kai Stewart. This Kai Stewart, you know, the Montanan, the guy from out there in Big Sky Country. Boy, I'm in love with Montana. If you've ever been to Montana, even just go to Google, type the word Montana, and click images. What a beautiful state. I saw a meme one time that said I saw God walking through the fields of Montana once, and I said to him, Lord, what are you doing in Montana? What are you doing here? And he looked at me and he said, working from home, son. That's just the beauty of Montana. And Kai Stewart is a beautiful fighter, and I'm not talking about his face. I'm talking about that handlebar mustache. I'm talking about his skills, his abilities, his talking on the mic. He's one of the best at that, too. And Gary Fox gets in his face. Gary Fox came adorned in a Hawaiian shirt with Kai Stewart's face all over it. Sort of like a taunting thing, I guess. They got into it. Gary Fox is the European champion. Kai Stewart is the United States champion, and they're going to eventually face off where the winner gets both those belts, or maybe they unify them or something. Ben Rothwell, they talked to him, the current heavyweight champion of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, and he said, honestly, guys, I just want that $15 million. That's, since you've announced that, that's all I'm focused on. You can talk to me about other fighters and challengers that they also, he goes face-to-face with somebody before this is all over, which would be an interesting fight, but he's focused on that tournament for sure, and who can blame him? You win that and $15 million? I mean, maybe we'd never see him again. Who would have to fight after that? John Dodson wants the winner of the 155-pound title tournament. He said, and after he beats the winner and wins that title back, which he gave up, I think, to go up 10 pounds to fight somebody. Again, I'm still a relatively new fan, so please bear with me. And they took the title off of him because he did that. He's not happy with that, so he wants the winner of this tournament. And then he says after he wins the title back, he wants the runner-up so he can beat him too. That was an interesting comments from him. Then we had Jessica Borger and Christine Ferrer agree to fight at 135 pounds. Now, nothing was signed, but David Ferreira was there and says, we're going to make that fight, ladies, if that's what you want to see. They went at each other, you know, yapping at each other, flipping each other off, getting each other's faces. It was a very good promo battle, if you will, between Christine and Jessica. They each have a championship, but again, they agreed verbally here to each get to 135 and fight for a title. It doesn't matter. Everybody just wants to see these two face off. Then another young lady, Britton Hart, was out there, and they asked her, who would you like to face for your championship? Who is there anybody out there? I mean, you don't have a whole lot of challengers at your weight. Is there anyone you have in mind? And she calls out Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano, I'm not real familiar with her, but she's not in bare knuckle fighting. She'd have to throw down the gloves and come in. Will she do it? We don't know. But Feldman announces two new women champions, or not champions, excuse me, two more women fighters to maybe face the champion Britton Hart. Josette Cotton, not familiar with her at all. I do think I saw her fight in very, very early fights of backyard brawl fighting, now bare knuckle boxing. You know, they combined with BYB and BKB combined. I think I saw this young lady, this Josette Cotton that looked like her. I'm not sure. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And also coming in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, Aspen Ladd, former UFC women's fighter. So there's 2 new women coming in that maybe Britton Hart can take on. We'll have to wait and see. Ben Bonner then promises to defeat Franco. Franco, again, we talked about earlier, couldn't make it over, or something happened with Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. That fight didn't happen. Ben Bonner's going to face him. Ben Bonner's the young man who came in on like a week's notice and won the championship and willing to defend against Franco. And then he wants to get in that 155-pound tournament or to face the winner and beat him as well. I mean, Ben Bonner's a cool guy. Definitely a little bit different, but hey, being different is what makes you stick out in bare knuckle fighting, and I can't wait to see where Bonner goes with this championship that he has. Connor Tierney gets into a verbally with Julian Lane about them going at each other. I don't know a lot about either one of them. You have to forgive me for that, but it definitely seemed like that would be an interesting fight. Then we had Gogo Slaveski. His real name is Gorjan, I think. Gorjan. Gogo Slaveski. He's going to fight August 2nd in Sturgis, and he wants to fight Julian Lane. And they went back and forth there at the press conference for a while. And after that, we had some media questions, more fighters yapping at each other, and several big face-offs. You'll see some of them that I included in the pictures here. I'm just touching on this conference, guys. I'm not going over every aspect and every thing that was said and everything that happened, because you need to watch it. It's on YouTube. It's on Bare Knuckle Fighting Championships YouTube page. Go watch it. Get prepared for tomorrow's show. That wasn't what this conference was about. There was a little bit of it. They spoke of it a little bit, one or two of the face-offs before tomorrow. But generally, this was just major hype, big-time announcements, and everything that makes Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship the best league out there for sure. And if you missed this, and you like bare knuckle fighting even a little bit, you missed a great show. Didn't consist of any fights, of course. Of course, we're not going to have fights in a presser, but it was very good. It was not like the simple little press conferences I've seen pro wrestling hold that are almost staged comments and goofy Twitter freaking account people asking questions. This was legitimate badassery sport with people that literally beat the living hell out of each other for championship titles like that sucker right there, and money. The greatest sport in the world. The short time I've been watching it, I'm that sold on it. Go watch this show. Hyping it up for you here. Spoiled some of the things you'll hear, but it's still worth watching. I promise you that. And I'll be back to talk about tomorrow's show, giving you a big review and all my thoughts before this weekend is over. Hopefully you're tuning in and subscribing. You know, I got a whopping, don't even have 10 subscribers yet. I don't care. I do this for my love of this sport. And maybe one day I'll blow up, and maybe one day I never will. Doesn't matter to me. These guys, this sport is worth spending my time on, and I will continue to do so, baby. And hopefully you'll join me here, and I'll be back before you know it.